bacteria can be affected by our feelings. So for example, if we get stressed and the body will produce stress hormones that are chemicals that are being sensed by the bacteria, reproduce themselves, and they grow and divide and multiply if the conditions allow them to do that. So if the conditions of the body change, the bacteria will react, and maybe they can now grow to a large extent. So if the immune system is downregulated, that would make it easier for pathogenic bacteria to actually attack the body, because the body's defenses are reduced. But most of the bacteria we harbor are not pathogenic, and they don't necessarily attack the body if the defenses are low. There is a potential that you will have a larger chance of infections, and these infections again of course change the body, which will affect the other bacteria that are not the cause of the infection. So there are lots of interactions going on. You know, the body changes, the bacteria react in a way that will change again the environment. So there are lots of interactions, but there are so many interactions that it becomes it's a really complex system. It's difficult to actually predict anything because of the sheer complexity of this. We have thousands of different types of bacteria inside our body, which can all react to the same change in different ways. So the whole system is so complex that it's very difficult to actually fully understand what's happening. The presence of the bacteria and what the bacteria do changes the immune system. The change in the immune system will affect the communication between the immune system and the brain. But also the bacteria produce compounds that can directly talk to the brain. So there is even the idea, but this isn't proven. It may only be an idea that the bacteria might produce compounds that will affect the brain in a way that we eat more of the stuff that the bacteria would like to get. Because basically, it makes sense, but whether this actually happens is unknown. So the bacteria would have an advantage if they could produce compounds that would make the brain change in a way that you'd eat more, because then they have more food supply, so it's good for them. Because the more we eat, the more they have, because they consume the stuff that we cannot digest ourselves. So the human body will of course be affected by feelings of loneliness, and that will affect the bacteria. But the bacteria don't have a feeling of loneliness. They don't have feelings at all. They may be lonely in the sense of that they are alone, but they won't have a feeling of loneliness. So that won't affect the bacteria, and they will not understand that we feel lonely. But they will of course react to the changes in our body due to us feeling lonely, because our body is their environment, and they obviously have evolved to be able to react to changes in the environment, and they do that. So they will be affected by loneliness, but I don't know anyone who actually knows in any detail how they would be affected, because I don't think there's any study on this at all. But it's clear that in some way they will be affected, because obviously the human body changes if we feel lonely, and the bacteria will sense these changes.